Jamie was a very fun-loving laddie. He lived life to the max. From a very young age, anything with wheels basically. From his walker to roller skates, skateboarding, BMXing, then it became the motorbikes and then cars, so anything with wheels. But he was an adrenaline junkie. Loved to work. He was a grafter. Found school quite difficult though. Jamie was diagnosed with ADHD when he was 5 years old, which is a hyperactivity disorder, and he found school life extremely hard. He left school and he went into an apprenticeship. He was 16. He went into mechanics and he was there for roughly about a year. After that, it was the roads, and he completely thrived, and that's all he did was roadworks. He just loved working outdoors, and he loved fishing, which was outdoors as well. So he was a grafter, and all his employers stated that he was a good, hard-working laddie. So I was extremely proud of him for that. He made a few mistakes in his life. He wasn't perfect. He never really seen the bigger picture of things, and that's where obviously we came in and tried to, explain the consequences of the things that he was doing that we didn't accept, basically. Jamie loved to party. He lived for the weekend. He was extremely popular. He had loads of friends. I mean, coming in for work on a Friday night, it would be Facebook. Mm-hmm. And it would be who's having a party, basically. And he would be off, and that would be him until Sunday night. His love for cars, well, it's really strange because he was more of a motorbike fanatic than cars. And we always said to Jamie that, we would never ever buy him a motorbike, but we would buy him a car. And unfortunately, it was a car that ended his life. It was a week before the accident, to the exact day in fact, and we had sat him down and we had found out about this car he had, but we also found out previously the other two before that, and we gave him the choice, whether to get rid of the car and then he can continue to stay home, but if he was going to keep making these stupid decisions, then he was going to have to move out because it was causing a lot of arguments at home and a lot of stress and a lot of worry. So when we found out that he'd bought another car, I said to him about you've not got a licence to drive this car, you shouldn't be on the roads. And I told him that my worst fear would be for someone to get killed, or worse, you. And he was worried. He wanted to have a licence, but because Jamie has dyslexia, he wasn't too worried about the driving. It was the theory test that worried him. And although we explained to him it was a touch screen, you wouldn't have to write anything down, you would be fine. Because he's had that anxiety for so long, it was just a fear. And it's a lot easier to just go and buy a car, basically, than to pass your driving. I remember the exact words. I said to him, you've not got a licence to drive the car. I've been told about the car, and I told him that he couldn't live here anymore if he was going to keep the car. And then I got a phone call stating that he wasn't coming home. I hadn't seen Jamie then for a good week. And although I didn't agree with the decisions that he made in his life, I still loved him. It doesn't matter what your kid does, you still love them. This is extremely hard for me to go through this, and what I'm trying to do is to put the message across to the young ones about the consequences of their actions and the decisions that they make in their life, and possibly prevent another family from going through what we're going through. Jamie lost his life at an extremely young age. He had his whole life ahead of him, and he's not here anymore. He's not the one that has to deal with it. It's us. We're the ones that's left with the mess for the rest of our lives, basically. So I'm trying desperately to get the message across to them to just please think about what they're doing and be safe before they make any drastic decision behind the wheel of a car. Jamie's gran and granddad loved him dearly. He was my mum's favourite, basically. It was her favourite grandson, and she makes that well known to everybody. She misses the times when they played PlayStation games on TV, and she misses the banters that they used to have together, and you know, his nieces, his nephews, his cousins, his friends. It's just impacted everybody greatly, and everybody's suffering so much. At this moment in time, we can't really see a way forward, but as people keep saying, you know, it will get easier. We just can't see it now. So I'm just hoping that I can get this message across and just make you think and make you value your life. Jack, who is Jamie's brother, who's 8 years old, just wanted to say a few words and just to express his feelings on how he feels about his brother and how it's affected him. And he writes, "Jamie, I remember when you made me laugh. I miss your face so much. I wish you were still here with me, watching movies and playing the PS3. Brodie, which is our border collie, misses you. I'll never forget you, Jamie. I'll love you always. Love, Jack." And this is from Amber, who is Jamie's niece. Amber is 9 years old. "Jamie, I miss you so much. Why did it have to happen to you? Why, oh why? Sorry."